This is going to be great. So tonight, I want to talk about the Alien Romulus trailer, the full trailer, not the teaser that was released about 2 months ago. Um, and basically, first, we'll watch the trailer in its entirety. I'm not going to talk or say anything. And then after that, we'll kind of go through shot by shot and just kind of overall what I think about it. Um, I guess just to start, I love it. I Fede has yet to give me any doubt that this film is going to be anything less than amazing. I think it, everything that I've seen, everything he says in interviews, um, it gives me a lot of confidence that this is going to be a great film. So, without further ado, let's watch the trailer and we'll get into discussion.
Is this really where you want to spend the rest of your life?
You know I don't.
Then this is our only ticket out of here.
What's happening?
There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the
I don't know,
water?
there's just something in the fucking water. Fucking thing's hunting us.
Open the door, come on!
Run.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Jesus Christ, man. I think I've watched that trailer. I feel like I've watched this trailer like at least 15 times today and I still get goosebumps. I'm so looking forward to this movie. All right. So let's go back to the beginning. Um and we'll kind of go through shot by shot. I'm going to try. I think this is going to be a fairly short stream because I think what I want to do is try to upload this to YouTube. So I'm going to try my best. It's a 2-minute trailer. I'm going to try my best to keep this whole video or this stream fairly short tonight. So I'm going to try not to spend too much time on each shot. So, first shot, we're on the colony. Kaylee Spaney's character, Rain, and right away I'm getting like Blade Runner vibes, Aliens vibes, that this is a rough colony to live in and that she's grown up in. So we've got the rain, the shutters looking out on what appears to be an atmosphere processor. I think I want to say from seeing some of the previous concept art that this colony is called like Jackson Systems or something. So I think that's what's written on the processor, the atmosphere processor here is like Jackson something. I need to check on that, but I'm pretty sure that it's something like that. So right away we're getting good visuals of a very lived in, rough, gritty environment, which I like. I think this is awesome. It's like sort of like cyberpunk vibes, um, good sci-fi, lived in, exactly what you want to see in an alien movie. So we've got Rain, and I guess she's talking to her brother about, they don't want to just live their whole lives on this colony, that this is all they know. And so this is where, and again, this is not a complaint. I'm very glad that even though we do see some things in this trailer that are a bit spoilery, obviously, I'm glad that Fede is keeping like major plot points under wraps. So we don't know why they end up deciding to leave or what they're going after. And in everything that Fede has said in these interviews is he doesn't want people to go into the movie knowing all the big scenes and major plot points, which I really appreciate. Because I mean, we haven't had an Alien movie in 7 years, so and we don't know when the next one is going to be made. So I want to go in with fresh eyes and have a good, fresh cinema experience. So again, beautiful shots in space of the little ship, which I believe is the Corbellin. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it's a Weyland-Yutani ship. Here you get a good shot of the Weyland-Yutani shirt, I'm guessing, that she's wearing. Again, everything feel like, even the clothing, it's tattered, it looks worn out. I like how this is, it's not all, everything looks like it's been lived in. I feel like I can't say that enough. So now they're approaching the Renaissance station. Which again, the Renaissance station is going to have, it has, so far from what we've seen in the teaser in this trailer, it has a lot of elements of Alien and Aliens, Hadley's Hope, and the Nostromo. It's got two separate sections or divisions, the Romulus and the Remus, different sections. I don't want to use a different word, but anyway. So you've got two very different aesthetic feels, and you also have isolation, Alien Isolation, which is thrown into it, and there's some really great styling cues that indicate that. Vent opening, and so here they're going through, walking through the station. It's quiet, it's dark, they're not sure what they're gonna find. This gives very much to me like Nostromo vibes from the first movie. I love all these practical sets. I think they knocked it out of the park. This is giving some more Nostromo and Hadley's Hope vibes. Again, all practical lighting. The technology looks true to when this movie is supposed to take place in the timeline between the first two movies. 20 years after the first movie, 37 years before the second movie, and 5 years after Alien Isolation. So we're getting a transition between how the technology evolved from between the first and the second movie, and we see exactly that. It definitely doesn't feel out of place. This hallway right here, how it curves around, because the space station is sort of like a big sort of disc almost. This gives me like isolation, like going in the med bay. And we even saw on the first Alien Day post from last year that Fede made with the facehugger holding the clapperboard, you see like one of the save stations from Alien Isolation. So this, again, everything I'm seeing here is just amazing. Now we see what was probably, definitely looks like acid from one of the aliens that has melted through several layers of the space station. So apparently the hull is still intact because they're not being sucked out into space here, but great shot. Here's a 0G shot again, I don't really know how this is going to work in the movie, but I think this is great. I've been wanting to see something like a zero G type situation in an alien movie. This shot is very is interesting. So you've got the blue laser or blue field just above the floor, and what looks like resin hive material. So this is Andy, the android, and he's got a little cylinder case which is holding these small ampules inside, and the liquid or substance that's in it looks black. So this could be the black goo from Prometheus and Covenant. If that's the case, I'm interested to see what they do with it in the movie, and how much they'll tie in story elements from the prequel movies to this, because I know that the prequel movies are fairly divisive amongst fans. I personally, there are a lot of things I like about the prequels. Overall, I don't think they're fantastic films. I personally really like Covenant. Prometheus is kind of for me, but nonetheless, I'm interested to see what they do with this. And then the blue force field, we've seen that in, you know, I mean, instantly what comes to mind is when Kane is in the derelict and they find all the eggs and he goes down to investigate, and you see this force field. So this is interesting. So obviously he's seeing something. He's looking up again. In the background you see like resin or hive-like material. And yeah, door opening. This, I'm guessing, is like an office just outside of the Romulus lab. I love this shot. And I love what they're like, the fact that we're just getting a small taste of what Fede has in store for us with the chest burster. So we've got Eileen Wu's character, who even in the teaser we saw that she was probably not going to make it. So we kind of, yes, that's a spoiler. But for me, it doesn't bother me so much because you expect in an alien movie, not everyone's going to live. So the fact that we know that, yes, she's probably not going to live, okay, that's not a huge deal for me. But she uses this X-ray tool where I guess if you use it and you hold it up against you, you can see inside, and you see her ribs there and the chest burster. And that's Isabella Marced. I think these reactions are great. They look like, I mean, genuine fear. So you see the chest burster trying to force its way out. That's just nuts to me. Okay, so here's the opening, the door to the Romulus lab. I love the logo and the styling that they use, calling back on the story of Romulus and Remus. I think that's fantastic. Now, this, I'm guessing, so in the Romulus lab, you seem to see a lot of red lights. I'm not sure what this is on the right, but they're, I guess, I don't know when this is in the movie, obviously, but they're searching in the labs. And here we have all these like storage compartments. And it looks like, so in this one on the left, we have a facehugger that somehow pops out of this. On the right, I don't know if that's another facehugger or if it's maybe an alien head or something. But this scene, when I think of this, I think of like stuff in the comic books. I think of the Cold Forge and what Alex White wrote in that book for like the research that they did. I even think of Dark Descent, the recent video game that came out, and the research that you do and the sort of upgrades that you get in the game. I also think of things like Labyrinth, the comic book. There are so many things that Fede Alvarez was clearly inspired by when he was writing this film and creating this story, and everything. I love it. I love it. So Facehugger falls out. There's water on the floor. And for whatever reason, Kaylee Spaney's character, I'm not sure these closed captions are actually labeling this properly. Because Kaylee Spaney's character is Rain, and here I guess they use the code name Bjorn or something. So I don't think that's right. But anyway, so he's in the water. Not sure where the facehugger is. Bam, gets attacked. Now, yes, that's a very graphic example of what the facehugger is doing. But again, this is why I'm excited about Fede Álvarez and him behind the helm of this movie, because he's gonna bring all his experience from horror. And I mean, this is like he said this in interviews, like horror is what he knows and what he loves and what he does well. And so to make some of these scenes with the facehugger like way like less quick shots and more like intense scenes, like I just love this. Now on this scene, on this little shot, you see what looks like fingers uncurling. I don't know, it to me it doesn't look like the normal hands of a xenomorph. So I don't know. I've seen some theories already of people saying like this is could be like the hands of a queen, or it could be a xenomorph that has 4 hands, which was one of the designs that I know that Neil Blomkamp was going to use for his scrapped Alien movie. So who knows? But I still like this shot. Again, these are practical effects. This is a practical creature that they made, which is, it's so cool. So now they're in the hive. I want to say about a week or so ago, a behind the scenes shot was released where we're looking in the other direction towards the android and Kaylee Spaney's character, and it's looking up. So he's standing right by some stairs, and this is like what I think is the entrance to a hive. So this is terrifying, and we also see again the little cylinder case that he's carrying with the ampules. So I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with that. But he's frozen. He's like scared, not sure what he's seeing. Now this is Isabella Marced's character, I think, and Rain is about looking, and oh, I love this shot right here, where she's looking through the door, and it's just like pure terror. The door is closed, so this tells me that perhaps Isabella Marced's character is gonna die too. We don't know for sure. But the alien is right behind her. It's out of focus, but it's rising up behind her. It gives me chills. So now we see Andy. I love his facial expressions. I feel like he's going to be a good android character in this movie, because he doesn't necessarily have too many reasons to be afraid. And here he's just very calmly saying, you need to run. Again, in this shot, you see a very quick shot. You see them running down sort of like Alien Isolation-esque hallways. They throw a flare. Again, that's a good throw call to Alien Isolation. Flares are pretty regularly used in that game. So here is sort of like I guess you would almost say like a flashback shot to where Eileen Wu's character gets facehugged before we get to that chest burster scene with the X-ray tool. Now we have Kaylee Spaney's character, Rain, suiting up in a spacesuit. I really like these designs. So this is where you can definitely see elements, design elements from the spacesuits from the first movie. But it's definitely a unique like design in and of itself, because it's not, I mean, with this being 20 years after, the design for spacesuits is going to change. So I like that, but it still feels true to the era. This shot, I love this shot. I love the dome of the xenomorph. This reminds me very much from when you first see the xenomorph in the first movie. crawling under the floor or through a vent. I think that's Isabella Marced's character. Then I think this is her character again, falling. This is Isabella Marced's character holding, I think, Eileen Wu after the chest burster comes out. Again, the acting to me seems just impeccable. Now, this shot right here gets me really excited. To me, that doesn't look like, this was very much like any shot, especially when you have a trailer, you're going to try and interest the general audience to want to go see this movie, but you're also going to want to hook lifelong fans of Alien. And to me, this shot was very much deliberately put in there. To me, and I'll show some pictures here in a little bit, but to me, this definitely looks like not like a space rock, an asteroid or something. This looks very much like the same like resin hive-like material from a xenomorph. And I'll get into that in a little bit after we get through the rest of this. Again, 0G, we saw this shot, I think, in the teaser or something very similar. I think these could be the stairs of the entrance to the hive in that other shot, but I'm not entirely sure. So we've got a character floating here, another character kind of on the wall in the background. So here they're in the hive. It very much looks like they're in the hive. Rain, and that could be Andy. I'm not sure what the other character is here, but they both have weapons. I like this shot too. The lighting, the cinematography, this is beautiful. So we have Kaylee Spaney's character, and I'm not sure what character this is, but Kaylee Spaney has this thing strapped to her. And there was another behind the scenes promo shot that they released recently of her with that same equipment strapped to her. And initially some people were thinking it was a flamethrower, but if you like look closer at it, there's no like pilot light flame. And it looks different than what like the flamethrowers have looked like in the past in the Alien universe. And so it looks like it could be like maybe liquid nitrogen canisters. So that would be interesting if she's trying to fight them off with liquid nitrogen or something. That's cool. I love this shot too. Now if you zoom in, so Andy's eyes roll back. If this is I won't be able to get a clear zoom in of this here, but if you zoom in on his eyes, you can actually see like a Weyland-Yutani logo, which is cool. So either he's malfunctioned or he's rebooting or doing something here. I'm not sure what, but a great shot. Now, this is another shot I'll get into a little bit more detail after we get through this trailer. But this looks like the Romulus station crashing down. This is what I'll point out. This looks like. And this looks like the Narcissus, like a Narcissus style ship. There are some very keen eyes on social media. And like I said, I've watched this trailer like 15 times at least, and there's still things that I'm going back and finding. So this is Isabella Marced, I think. I don't know why she's screaming, if she's just scared or if she's actually in pain here. I'm not entirely sure. There's the little Corbellin. I love the design of that. It gives very, very much like Ron Cobb aesthetic features. I really hope they make like a model version of that ship, because I will definitely buy it. Here's Rain, and she's shooting at an alien. I guess it's like hanging on the wall or something. Again, another quick shot, and I love this quick glimpse here. And again, this is another one I'll kind of go back to, but I love what looks like a xenomorph coming out of a cocoon, and it's got like its fingers up on its head. It that's so gruesome and like just cool at the same time. Acid blood. I love this too. This looks like, again, we have another 0G scenario here, obviously, but we've got these pools of acid blood in the air. Like that, that's just gonna be crazy. And based on like the light design here, this looks like this is the hive area. So there's been some sort of hole breach or something, but oh, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And lastly, we have the Xeno and Rain, the alien in Rain. Oh, it's just this is just I mean, this is just gonna be great, I think. I really do. So really quick, let me pull something up here. All right, we're about half an hour. So I'm going to try and keep this short. A couple more things I want to talk about, and then we'll probably wrap. So the cocoon sequence where you see the xenomorph sort of emerging is very much similar to another scene in the comic books where the xenomorph emerges from a cocoon like that. So, and this was like in the Alien Illustrated Story comic book. So I'm just curious to know if Fede drew from that this deliberately or what. But nonetheless, that's very cool. Now this shot this was posted by Xenomorph fans page on Instagram. I'd definitely recommend following them if you aren't already. So we have the scene with, I believe this is Archie Renault's character getting face hugged, or the face hugger attempting to face hug him, is very much reminiscent of an H.R. Giger like early concept face hugger art piece. And also in the teaser trailer where you see Eileen Wu and what looks like a face hugger being pulled out, again gives off those same vibes. And then a lot of people immediately caught this one of that final shot in the Romulus trailer with Rain and the alien calling back to the shot in Alien 3 of Ripley and the alien in the little medical room. So when it comes to stuff like that, like these callback shots, and there are a handful of other callback shots in Romulus from the footage that we've seen so far. To me, I'm not bothered by that too much, as long as it's just not like every single shot, which I don't. It obviously won't. It can't be, pretty much. And as long as some of the ways that they're doing these callback shots, like, aren't too obvious or fit to what Fede is trying to tell visually with the story. To me, when you start doing callbacks or like repeating lines that have been said by other characters, that would bother me a lot more. Like if some character starts saying like "game over, man," like Hudson and Alien, like when they start repeating lines like that, regurgitating stuff, that's where it really bothers me, because then it doesn't really feel real in a sense. So, but I like this. I like this. To me, this just shows that Fede Alvarez is a big fan of Alien, that he loves it. He has a lot of respect for it. and he just wants to try and give some of that love back with his own story. That's, to me, that's how I view it. Now, another one, this was from a couple other things actually. Adam Zeller, who is goes by Ridgetop, definitely follow him too. He's one of the co-hosts for the Alien versus Predator podcast and website. He talks about the Weyland-Yutani logo and the android character. That was actually something that you see in the AVP 2010 video game, which I haven't played that yet, but I own it. I just haven't played it yet. Another cool thing, when you kind of got small glimpses of this in the teaser, but the Xenomorph, I really like the head design. It still looks very Giegerish, and I love the shoulder arches. You can definitely see the scar on the skull, like the front of the dome, and then you see like these ridges going back, like as you progress further back on the dome, and that is very similar to like an old Kenner toy that they had that had like similar like ridges. So I think that's very cool. I don't own this figure either. I'd love to get that one. And then lastly, the last point I wanted to touch on here, in the shot where I already kind of talked about this, but where the Renaissance station is crashing, you see right here a little shuttle, which looks very much like the Narcissus from the escape shuttle that Ripley takes. So it's gonna be interesting. Is this like, when you go into this movie, you hope that at least some of the characters are going to survive. So to me, I'm going into this movie. I was before I even saw this trailer, that something's gonna, like the Renaissance station. Someone's probably gonna say, "Hey, we can't leave this space station just floating here with all this death inside, and we got to do something. We got to destroy it." So to me, I'm not surprised to see that. Yeah, they're kind of giving it away that they're going to try and take the station down and stuff, but they're going to try and escape in the meantime. So to me, it's not too spoilery, in my opinion. But yeah. So that's that. And yeah, I'm just, again, I'm so excited for this movie. We've got just over 2 months before it's released, August 16th. I can't wait. I cannot wait to, as soon as tickets go on sale, I'm going to pre-order them for sure. And just like they did when they released the teaser, what was that, in March, I believe? They released like the red band rated R version first, and then not too long after, they released a green band, more PG related version of the teaser that they could put, pair with more movies in previews. So I'm curious to see what types of additional shots they might swap out for the green band trailer. So, that'll be more to talk about when it comes out. I honestly, as much as I enjoyed today seeing this trailer, watching it over and over again, analyzing it, just appreciating the shots, to me, I think one of my favorite parts of this is the practical effects, the practical creature effects, the practical sets, the fact that these characters are actually they're not sitting there staring at green screens trying to pretend about what they're seeing. They're actually seeing it. To me, that's just incredible. I can't imagine being an actor on one of those sets. So, honestly, again, as much as I enjoyed today, I'm not sure I want to see too much more additional content, footage, or anything before the movie comes out. because now we've got a really great feel for what the tone. We've got a good feeling, a little bit of a feeling about some of the behaviors of the characters and how they do intense situations. And we obviously have like some glimpses of the alien, and we get some details, but we don't get all the details. And so I feel like this is a really great like amount of information to have going into the movie. And if you start, if the marketing starts, just keep, if it still feeds us more and more leading up, 2 months, a lot can happen in 2 months. And if they're just going to continue to feed us more information and behind the scenes shots, I feel like at times that could only hurt you, because you're just, people's opinions start to change. You kind of want to give them enough to get them thinking. So we'll see what happens. Um, I'm I'm really glad the fact that Fede, he was asked this weekend in an interview about like, what can you tell us about the plot, and he was like, nope, not telling you anything. I'm glad that he's very keeping this very close to the chest. So with that, I'm going about 40 minutes now. I think I'm gonna end it for tonight. If anything else comes out, other trailer footage or something, I'll probably try and do another quick stream just to talk about it. I like just kind of uh voicing it, even if it's to myself and not to an audience. So um and hopefully someone will watch it and get something out of it. So with that, I'm gonna end the stream. For anyone that's watching, thank you for watching. Please consider following me on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all that stuff. And also think I'm gonna try and upload this to YouTube. But yeah, we'll catch you in the next stream. Hopefully, I'll be streaming maybe Aliens Fireteam Elite in the next day or so. But yeah, have a good night, and I'll see you soon.